Hey guys, welcome to Hoops and Scoops. I'm Justin, and I will be talking about effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage today. It would be greatly appreciated if you could hit the like button and subscribe for more basketball content that will be coming out shortly. For future videos in this channel, I plan on doing a lot more basketball videos, as well as just ideas that come to my mind about anything in life. For the basketball videos, I plan on doing more statistical analysis videos, film breakdown, and then in real life basketball stuff. So moves and drills, you can expect some of that to be coming up shortly in this channel. So let's get into this video about effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage. First, let's start by talking about effective field goal percentage. Effective field goal percentage is a way to calculate field goal percentage that incorporates the extra point in a 3-point basket as compared to a 2-point basket. So I'm going to put the formula on the screen as to how to calculate it. So to do this, you take the 2-point field goals made for a certain player and add it to 1.5 times the 3-point field goals made by a certain player, and then divide it by the total field goal attempts in a game. Effective field goal percentage shows how effectively a player can score. It is a very good indicator for team success, and it's a solid indicator for individual player success. Another statistic used to track the efficiency in a player's shooting is true shooting percentage. True shooting percentage incorporates both threes and free throws in a field goal percentage number in order to come up with an overall shooting metric. So again, I'm going to put the formula on the screen, and true shooting percentage is calculated by taking the points for a certain player, dividing it by 2 times the field goal attempts plus 0.44 times their free throw attempts, and this will give you their true shooting percentage. So I went onto the NBA website for stats, and I compiled the data for the top 10 leaders in effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage for guards, forwards, and centers. Then I also found the numbers for these two statistics for this past year's All-Stars. And so let's take a look at that now. Here we have the top 10 guards, forwards, and centers for effective field goal percentage in the past NBA season. As you can see, there are not many big-name players other than Ben Simmons. The reason for this is because these role players take wide-open, good, efficient shots, so their field goal percentage is going to be high. And then for the guards and forwards, they are very good three-point shooters, so their effective field goal percentage is going to be high. And then for the centers, their effective field goal percentage is going to be a lot higher than guards and forwards because these guys all shoot really close to the basket and they don't take any threes at all, so they're going to have a high field goal percentage and they don't take threes. So their effective field goal percentage is always going to be higher than the guards and forwards. And finally, if you look below, you can see the all-star numbers. As you can see, Russell Westbrook and Jimmy Butler were the two lowest all-stars, and this is because they take a lot of shots and they aren't exactly the most efficient jump shooters. And then one name I'd like to point out is Chris Middleton, who has the second highest effective field goal percentage for all-star forwards. And he's very underrated, so I just wanted to point out how efficient of a shooter he is to pair along with Giannis. The reason why all these all-stars effective field goal percentages are lower is because they have the ball in their hands at the end of shot clocks and at the end of quarters. So they're going to be shooting some tougher shots that have a small percentage of going in. And so this is going to hurt their field goal percentage, which is ultimately why you have guys like George Hill and Matt Thomas and Duncan Robinson ahead of all these all-star players. Here are the leaders for true shooting percentage. As you can see, it is a lot of the same guys as in the top 10 list for effective field goal percentage, but there still are a few changes. For example, Ben Simmons is no longer in the top 10 for guards because his non-existent three-point percentage and his terrible free throw percentage makes him drop down. And guys like Damian Lillard and Devin Booker, who are fairly efficient for their high volume of shots, climb into the top 10. You also see Karl Anthony Towns jump into the top 10 because he has an extremely high three-point percentage and free throw percentage for a big man. The centers still remain kind of the same because their high field goal percentage through dunks and layups cancels out their bad free throw percentage and non-existent three-point percentage. Then again, you can see the All-Stars. Chris Middleton is the highest All-Star forward for true shooting percentage, showing how underrated he is. And then Russell Westbrook is the lowest All-Star guard. Now I'm going to plug in the top 5 guards, top 5 forwards, and top 4 centers for effective field goal percentage onto a team in NBA 2K20 and simulate a season to see A, whether they can win a championship, and B, how their statistics compare to their real life statistics. So now let's go into that. Here's our roster. We've got Rudy Gobert as an 87 overall, and then following him we've got John Collins, Mitchell Robinson, Dwight Powell, Brandon Clark, Dwight Howard, Seth Curry, George Hill, Duncan Robinson, Shake Milton, Daniel Gafford, Myers Leonard, Matt Thomas, and Ben McLemore. For our rotation, I decided to play all 13 players, so we've got George Hill, Seth Curry, Duncan Robinson, John Collins, and Rudy Gobert as the starters, with Mitchell Robinson, Brandon Clark, Dwight Howard, Dwight Powell, Shake Milton, Daniel Gafford, Myers Leonard, and Matt Thomas playing minutes, and Ben McLemore. We finish with a 44-38 record. LeBron wins MVP. Zion wins Rookie of the Year with 21-8. Yusuf Nurkic wins Sixth Man of the Year with 15-10. Kawhi wins DPOY with 25-8. John Collins wins Most Improved with 17-7. And Doc Rivers wins Coach of the Year for the Clippers. For the All-NBA first team, you've got Luka, Steph, LeBron, Giannis, Embiid, and Harden, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, Kawhi, Karl Anthony Towns, Damian Lillard, D'Angelo, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and Jokic make up the third team. Now for the player stats, we have John Collins averaging 17-7 on 59% from the field, which is really good. Seth Curry averaged 14-3 on 47% shooting. Then we have Brandon Clark, who averaged 12-5 on 53% shooting, so really solid from him. George Hill, as our point guard, averaged 11-5 on 43% from the field. Duncan Robinson averaged 10-2 on only 42% from the field, which could improve a lot. Rudy Gobert averaged 10-8 on 59% shooting. And then Dwight Howard averaged 9-5 on 54% shooting. Mitchell Robinson only 8-5 on 60% from the field. Shake Milton got a 6 a game. Dwight Powell averaged 6-4 a game. Daniel Gafford averaged 5-3. Myers Leonard added in 4 more points per game. And Matt Thomas finally at 3 points per game. Here's a chart that compares the effective field goal percentage for each of these players in real life and in this 2K simulated season, and the difference between the two percentages. Mitchell Robinson's difference was only 2.3%, and John Collins' difference was only 2.5%. So 2K got their effective field goal percentage pretty accurate. However, Dwight Powell and Dwight Howard, on the other end, had over 20 percentages in between their real-life effective field goal percentage and their NBA 2K effective field goal percentage. So the results really varied as to how well the real-life statistics correlated into 2K. Here's a chart that shows the true shooting percentages for all these players in real life and 2K and the difference between the two. 2K was a lot more accurate with true shooting percentages than they were for effective field goal percentages, as Matt Thomas had the exact same percentage and Myers Leonard was only 0.5 off. However, Dwight Howard again was 16.9% away from his real life true shooting percentage in the simulated season, and Daniel Gafford was 21.8 percentage points lower in the 2K simulated season. So once again, the results really varied in terms of how accurate 2K was in compiling these statistics. Now, let's go finish simulating the rest of the season in NBA 2K20. For the first round of the playoffs, we were playing the 3-seed Brooklyn Nets, who have healthy KD and Kyrie Irving. We take game 1. We take game 2. Going back home, we take game 3. And we sweep the Brooklyn Nets in round 1. How crazy is that? We could be on the verge of an upset. Now we take on the Toronto Raptors, and I have no idea how they were the 7th seed. That was a tough draw for Milwaukee. So we take the first 2 games. We take game 3 and another sweep. Wow, this is crazy. In the Eastern Conference Finals, we were taking on the 76ers. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to get past them, so this is going to be tough. And yeah, well, our upset run has been ended by the 76ers, who are taking on the Trailblazers in the finals. Kind of an interesting matchup here. So let's see what happens. It's 1-1. Sixers up 3-1. And wow, the Blazers come back from 3-1. Damian Lillard is the finals MVP. For those that are interested, here are the playoff stats. And once again, we are very balanced, as I guess you'd expect that from a team with a 13-man rotation. We are led by John Collins, Seth Curry, and Brandon Clark, with Rudy Gobert as our dominant big man down low. So this was a very interesting simulation to see how these statistics matched up with real life. That is going to do it for effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage. Thanks for watching the video, and please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Also leave a comment down below as to what the most surprising thing you learned was in today's video. Thanks again, and I'm out.